To bring up suspected illegal miners who are still underground at shafts 10 and 11 are set to resume today. Rescue experts are leading the operation, which had been previously led by community volunteers. Let's find out what progress they've been making with our Ziniko Mhlaba, who is in Stilfontein. Ziniko, take us into those efforts this hour.
Iman, the efforts started very early this morning. By the time we got here, just before 7 o'clock in the morning, they were already at the shaft. They were already, hovering shaft number 11 here in Stilfontein, instilling some material or some tools they will be using throughout the rescue operations, which are officially starting today. However, a better part of this morning was focused on ensuring that they are doing final preparations all around that particular hole at shaft number 11, but also instilling some tools which will be used when that grader, or when that crane rather, will be deploying what is called a makeshift sort of a lift, which will be retrieving those illegal miners who are alive from underground. So currently there's nothing that's happening. They are taking a break, but the machinery is still on standby, still in position. So we understand that they'll be taking about an hour's break and then they will resume with their operations. So there's been a lot of talk, Iman, in terms of how did we get here and why are we only seeing these experts today. So the 8 organizations have been a look ahead with government, specifically the Department of Mineral Resources, in terms of why, these rescue operations led by experts only starting today. The 8 organizations are saying that we are starting to do official because of the pressure, they piled up on government, even taking the matter to court. However, government has been disputing that version, saying that, well, it was long planned that these rescue experts will be taking over these rescue operations. So let's take a listen to one of those views shared by the spokesperson of the Department of Mineral Resources, Mr. Govt-led.
In December, and they couldn't budge. They pleaded that they do not have money, and they have already spent the money on sealing the shaft. So we started. It is indeed independent of the court agreement, by the way, not the order, the court agreement that we agreed on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's not true that we were forced by the court. We agreed at the court that we will make sure that we facilitate the process with the mine rescue services to see to it that we retrieve the remaining illegal miners underground.
So that's Mr. Govt-led, the Iman, who speaks for the Department of Mineral Resources. And of course, we heard Makua on News at Prime last night when he was really responding to some of the videos we had exclusively attained. And of course, during that conversation, Makau also, made mention of the fact that, well, there are over 100 bodies that are underground. And of course, when he was probed in terms of what could be the cause of death when it comes to those bodies, he lamented the fact, or he suggested that, well, according to their own sources as Makau, these deaths might have caused by death. Let's take a listen to Makau Executive Director.
But we have it on good authority. We've had a whistleblower leak to us copies of the autopsy reports, in which the autopsies are very clear that the people that we brought up as a result of the community rescue service died of starvation. So this is not a question of people being killed en masse by gang bosses down there. This is a question of the police having engendered a situation in which hundreds of people have died, a massacre, the worst massacre South Africa has seen, through starvation and hunger. One can call it genocide, if you will. That's the other term one can use. But for now, we don't know all the facts, but what we've seen is that there are hundreds of people dead. And from what we know from the 10 we've retrieved, that those people have died of starvation.
That's Makwa's Executive Director, just giving us some insights in terms of what they believe, could be the cause of those several deaths. Well, nothing has been confirmed yet in terms of the actual number. Remember, in the past 2 days, we've been hearing numbers, which are being mentioned around, thrown around, which are over 100 bodies are still lying on the ground under the surface there. So Makwa did say today they'll be having a press conference where they will be sharing a videos which will be really giving us some insights in terms of what exactly is going on underground, and that press conference is likely going to start any time from now on. So my colleague Refilo will be giving the viewers that particular conference and also give us some insights when we get to see those videos which Makua promised to share with us this morning.
Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you very much for that. Just witnessing the operationalization now of that rescue team. They haven't yet started their work in earnest, but as we have been saying, it is a race against time to retrieve people alive.